What's up, everyone? Every year I try to come up with something clever for our, sort of Black Friday promotion. This year I decided to not be clever and just get back to the basics, sit in front of my car. My new beloved E92, which just threw a check engine light. I gotta figure that out. But it's been a wild year. I figured I'd do a recap with you, talk about what I think is gonna happen next year, and hoping that you'll support us on this Black Friday. I know I ask a lot from you in that I'm asking you to honor the source and buy from us, and I take a lot of heat for that. I'm sure many of you take some heat for that, but I can't explain to you how appreciative I am, and that I do my best to find products and find things that may or may not have been widely followed, and then share with you my take. And I know that many of you value that take, and the ask has always been that you'd paid for shipping, and that I charged whatever the retail price, or sometimes a little less than the retail price if I've negotiated something with the vendor, but we don't run sales. And so once a year, I ask all the vendors to support us and allow us to sell the product. And so on a sale, so we run 10% off and free shipping on almost everything. I think like Sabre closets, even Sabre cabinets are on sale this year. I think the closets and a couple other cabinets aren't good, and then Rupes polishers are still in short supply, so they're not running a promotion this year. But in general, if you go to obsessedgarage.com, check out the banner image. It'll explain what's on sale. If you spend $200 or more, you get free shipping. And if you're a Hex Plus member, Hex Plus is $240 a year. You get access to all my personal vlogs and content and business stuff. And then you get priority, meaning that when let's say we print 300 orders, we grab all the Hex Plus, put them on the top, and ship out quicker, especially on a Black Friday event. That can mean a difference of 2 or 3 days shipping. So we I think are in the best position this year over other years to be able to ship as quickly as possible. We have the most specific stock of things. We have Krenslers in stock. We have ARs available. We have actives. We have most things, but don't be afraid to use RYS. So when things go out of stock, we're going to be having inventory rolling in here all the time. So don't be afraid to use reserve your spot, even though it says it's not here. We very likely will have it in days, if not a couple of weeks. So anyway, make sure you're just place the order, and then we'll let us figure it out. That was the whole concept behind Reserve Your Spot, is that I bought several things and they'd canceled my order. I bought some tires. And I just wanted to lock my spot down. Here's my money. I want these tires. I know it might take 6 or 8 or 10 or 12 weeks. Just give me my spot, and then when they show up, send them to me. And so that's where Reserve Your Spot was born. So the concept is we send out a weekly email with one of the experts here that work for me, and they give you an update on where things are. And we have a specific page on the website that shows you where things are. And so because we're going to have hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands, of orders, waiting for 1 or 2 things here and there, just know that we'll be updating you regularly. There's a page on the site that you can go to and get that info. Tech support will be standing by, and design. So garage design is also part of the sale. So if you want your garage designed, I would hit them up right now, right this second. Those of you that order on Friday, your stuff will get shipped much quicker. It usually takes us 10 to 11 days to catch up with the orders that come in. Last year, I think we did like 1.8 million or 1.9 million on the weekend. It runs from Friday through, so Friday morning, so Thursday at, I guess it's Friday at midnight. So Thursday into Friday, so at night is when it turns on, and it runs all the way to the midnight Eastern, 11:59 p.m. on Monday, Cyber Monday or whatever you want to call it. So just run it that weekend. And every year some people that somehow wait to the end and miss out. So don't wait, get it done, get your order in. You can buy pretty much anything in the store, and your support is certainly appreciated. So this year, man, It's been a wild one. I bet you if I went back and looked at all that, sort of just I could follow sort of my Instagram posts. If you're not following me there, you might want to check that out. But I can go back and look at Instagram posts, kind of take me through the year in review. I've had, let's see, we had Tesla. We had, I had the other E92, this E92. We had the M2, which just left yesterday or 2 days ago. I bought the G80. I had GT4, GT3 RS, which sold both of those. It's been a wild ride from a car perspective this year. Didn't we do another car earlier this year? Can't remember. But it's a really weird feeling. I'm down to 2 cars right now. My G80 is in transit, so I don't count that one yet. But I have the E92 and the E36. We're going to do the E36. I'm going to give that away. You know, I've spent a lot of time and money on that car. It's a, it's a 90s car. I wanted to experience it. I thought I would keep it. I'm just not a collector. I'm just not good at holding on to stuff. I like changing up. Next year I plan to get a Lotus Emira. I'm hoping to get a 997 GT3 RS. My GT3 Touring will be here either late this year or early next year. I'd love to get a 16 RS for the mountains. We have the G80 coming. I'd like to also get the G87 M2, as well as probably some other sort of giveaway car like Acura NSX, a Gen 2 NSX that I've been thinking about doing. So lots of car stuff coming, lots of detailing on that. We bought Destination OG this year. That was in June. Feels like a lifetime ago. I'm going back up in a couple weeks there to take the 2 Technoviolet cars to shoot some videos there for the upcoming giveaway, take some photos. That's been a wild ride. The house has been really successful. You know, we've booked largely, this year and almost all of next year. I think Corey's there now, so he's up there enjoying the house. We have somebody coming for Thanksgiving, and then pretty much all of December's booked as well. So I'm just going for Christmas. It's going to be super awesome up there for them. So the house is a success. Destination OG, the concept was to have a house, have a muse, have something that I could, and I learned this from moving 3 times in the last year. I realize we host Thanksgiving every year for our family, so this is 3 for 3. I told Michelle we got to get another house. So this is every year we've had a different house. That wasn't by design. If you remember the story, I bought a house in the lake that didn't appraise, that fell through. My house in Woodgate, the one that you all know with the wash bay, was sold, and we were done with that house. The 6 acres was a lot of work. Just wasn't for us, and the house I really needed to take the roof off, re-insulate, and redesign the whole darn thing, and that would have cost $1 million, wouldn't have been worth it. So we then moved to that little house in Harbor Hills, and then moved to this now big house in Darlington. We're working on the architecture plans. We're building out the house in Woodgate because I bought the lot next to it and shut that down just because of supply chain issues, and then we bought Destination OG. So it's been a bunch of movement, which I absolutely love. And having kids and having my kids and stuff, they haven't changed schools. None of that's been any sort of adjustment. So it's largely just been me working on projects and learning new things, new products, new things that I think are interesting. And it's been the catalyst in me then purchasing Destination OG, doing that, making that choice was I think a great move. And I would wager sometime, maybe next year, we'll get ourselves another property, maybe late next year, depending on what we do with the lot next door. So the warehouse has changed quite a bit this year. We completely moved out of there into here. So all the humans in here doing the work on the creative side and the website side are all in here. I'm in here with my studio. We've then converted that to a complete warehouse, put a doorway in. I purchased the lot next door with the intention to build, I think I can build up to a 9,000 square foot warehouse. So hoping to be able to do that. So, although I don't feel any richer personally, even though we've had a banner year, I don't know, we'll probably do somewhere around 20 million plus in sales this year. I have set us up and positioned us. We have made the transition to stocking pressure washers, which was a huge investment. I bought the lot there. I bought the lot in Woodgate. So I've bought these cars and own them, and so I guess I have made some personal financial upgrades. It's a tricky thing because all of the things I want in life, all of the materialistic things that I pursuing are all part of the business. Any product I take on for the lion's share of things, I'm taking on to then figure out how others might benefit from it as well. And so although it looks like I'm balling out of control because I got all this cool stuff, it's really all part of the business. Not really personally setting me up for personal financial success, but at some point I think that the business will pay me and the employees handsomely by us hopefully continuing to provide value to the world. Me getting all these cool cars is great. I mean, they're an expense, and there's something I would have wanted to do anyway, so I'm cheating a little bit there. But these are all things that are part of what creates and garners some interest in the products and keeps hopefully things fresh. And that's part of the fun, but also part of the difficulty for me personally, because I want to keep chasing harder, faster, and I don't know if that's the most intelligent thing to do, but it's been a whole heck of a lot of fun to continue to do this. We've grown the staff as well quite a bit. I think we have 28 or 29 total employees, have lots and lots of subcontractors like our business coaches and tax and attorney and insurance and all kinds of people that are involved in making this thing work, which has been really, really cool. So although somebody asks me what I do on an airplane, I say, well, I'm a YouTuber. It really is quite a bit more sophisticated than that. There's quite a bit more that goes into it than just a YouTube channel. Making these videos is what I love doing, engaging with you and sharing what it is I've learned about a car or an exhaust or an air compressor. That is, it's a much more complicated, much more, I should say, more sophisticated entity that has become, I think, a brand that has global possibilities. So the pursuit of Canada, UK, EU, Australia has begun. It's been in my head for several years now, but we're actually, I think, 2023 going to execute on that. So we're sort of making this transition to becoming a global entity and having some influence on certain niche products that I think has some value to the world, not just locally or not even just the U.S. So, I've big plans. Many days I wake up and say, let's speed up, and then the next day I say, let's slow down. There's a lot of improvement on current products that we could be chasing. I think that that improvement is something that keeps me up at night. Something that I think, like for example, we've taken on Milwaukee tools. I don't feel like we've provided half of the value that I'm hoping to provide in showing people what a complete set looks like, and then how to be able to make appropriate purchases. Things like tool grid needs our attention on. I've been talking about this forever about sending you what you need and then having a return label in the box, and us figuring out how to manage that. Press all, pursuing that and making the bottles better and appropriate, and there's 100 other things. I believe we've about reached the ceiling of current products that exist that I have a sincere interest in. The next choice will be, do I share my ideas, which has backfired on me many times thus far? Do I share what I think the product should be with the manufacturer, and then they can go out and sell it to everybody? Or do I does Obsessed Garage start to manufacture our own things? We've this year started manufacturing our own hoses. our own garden hoses, our own inlet hoses, bringing that here because those are so difficult to ship, and plus there was major supply chain issues that we had to solve. And then, the pursuit of creating my own curated, product line where it's selling, co-branded stuff like CarPro Eraser and an Obsessed Garage bottle so that all the stuff can match. Those are pursuits as well. So I think next year is going to be a tough year for the world. It may take even longer just because of the way that the supply of labor is set up. So it may take longer for inflation to really cause significant difficulties with companies and layoffs and jobs. I'm hoping that we will be largely insulated from that because we're going to chase really, really hard. I'm going to slow our growth a bit, slow our hiring down a bit, and just respond a bit more appropriately than I have in the past of swinging for home runs. Now we're going to be hitting doubles and singles and attempting to really shore up the company. I'm looking for a controller or CFO. I'm also going to be looking for an executive assistant. I've been in the search for those two people to really shore up our financial future and shore up our ability to be able to appropriately stock inventory rather than just buying what we think, and also to really be able to distill and disseminate my information down to the entire organization, because now with 30 people and then 60 and then 300 people, my message gets a bit diluted, and I don't have the personal relationship that I had with the first 5 or the first 10 because of just time and ability to be able to spend hours and hours with now dozens and dozens of people. So I think that there's this balance between engaging with you. I've commented a lot less this year. I've worried less about driving the Facebook group because I've focused in on the staff and the employees that are here, and then worked on the messaging. And this is inevitable to maintain the same essence, the same message, the same authenticity. But I have to evolve, personally and business-wise. We have to evolve as things grow and improve, otherwise, and it doesn't make things worse. But the key here, I think, is to maintain authenticity, maintain the ability to, if I don't like our drying aid anymore because I found something better, to not hold on to that because there's money attached to it, punt it, and do the right thing, not just the best thing for margins. And I know I'd take a lot of heat on that. A lot of people that are a bit ignorant on the subject of what it's like to be in this position. There's not a lot of people in the position that I'm in, so I guess it would be hard to comprehend. But I'm making decisions based on what's best for the product, what's best for you, what's best for me because I'm just one of you, just doing it at a larger scale because I'm buying all this crap and testing it out. But really, the essence of this whole thing, and I'm going to fight this to the end, the essence of this thing is that I'm chasing things that I think are interesting, and then sharing that information with you. And no matter how big it gets, that message doesn't need to change. So anyway, it's been a great year. We continue to see growth, and hopefully we can not only survive this inevitable economic downturn. Hopefully it won't happen. I think we're in the midst of it now, but I think that 2023 can be another great year. I think that we're going to continue to find all kinds of great products. Just the 50 things we have in the docket that if we had an infinite staff we'd have done, I think you're going to really like a lot of this stuff. So chasing things like garage audio that everybody told me no, chasing things like like building desk systems that all the companies are telling me no. I'm going to keep pursuing it. Most people told me there's no way that you could rent out your house and do it your way and tell people to wash the car when you rent it to them. I said, well, why not? What's going to stop me? What's going to stop us from doing that? So anyway, thanks for your support. The sale starts in a few days. I guess when you're watching this video, it'll be starting now. So go to obsessedgarage.com, go to destinationog.com as well, and check out the closet systems and check out the NatureCast systems. I'm going to continue to pursue this general concept that the garage is the anchor of our obsession. And the house is attached to the garage, the cars go in the garage, detailing happens in the garage, tools get used in the garage, lighting is what lights up the garage, the floor is what makes the floor look nice and clean in the garage. Vacuums happen in the garage, or vacuuming happens in the garage. So the garage is the anchor of the obsession. I'm going to keep chasing things that attach to that, and hopefully continue to provide some value to the world and provide some value to you, which means that then in turn you can go and hopefully continue to purchase stuff from us too. Without the business part of it, without the purchasing part of it, the Google ad revenue, the followers on Instagram, none of that stuff helps. None of that stuff contributes to the ability to be able to live this life of pursuit of things to provide value to the world. So without you honoring the source, or even just kicking in a few bucks here and there to buy a t-shirt, without you doing that, I wouldn't be able to do this. So I'm thankful for that. Hope you have a great Thanksgiving with your family. If you're from Canada, I guess Thanksgiving's on a different day. If you're somewhere else in the world, thank you for those of you who have purchased stuff and paid the ridiculous amount of shipping. I promise I'm coming to you at some point, make things a bit more realistic for you. And I'm going to keep fighting for us, fighting for professional grade products that otherwise wouldn't necessarily be available or known to us. I'm going to keep chasing that. So yeah, thanks for being here, and thanks for your support. We'll see you on the next video. Thanks for watching.